Welcome to the September 2001 beginning tape of our Hispanic Heritage Month. And we are so delighted today as we begin this celebration really on history for the Hispanics that are really important to the city of Grand Prairie, Texas, and to the many different environs around the city of Grand Prairie, Texas. We're very pleased today to have an outstanding young lady. And Rosie Mendez is just that one person that we thought would be just absolutely perfect to start out our Hispanic Heritage Month. And Rosie, we want to welcome you to the dais, my dear.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited for you to be here also because you have been so spontaneous and vivacious and such a wonderful person for the Grand Prairie Independent School District.
Thank you.
And your title as Safe and Drug-Free Schools Coordinator, that sure is a big title.
It sure is a big job too. I also do crisis management when there's a crisis at the schools.
Yes.
Somebody dies, a teacher, a student, or what have you.
Yes.
I coordinate services to the schools on that.
All right.
As well as take care of suicide prevention.
Oh, you just have a busy schedule, don't you?
Yes.
I'm surprised that I got in touch with you at the Grand Prairie ISD, but I'd like for you to look out in your camera. I want you to tell us about the real Rosie Mendez. Tell us your parents' name, where you were born, and something basic about you, because we want to show our Hispanic boys and girls how a young lady can start out as a wee baby and end up with an important role to play in the Grand Prairie ISD. Would you do that for us and tell us about your family?
Okay, I sure will. I was born in San Benito, Texas. That's down south, close to South Padre Island, near Harlingen. I have 7 older brothers and a sister, and both my parents. We were migrant workers. I was a migrant worker for all my life. All my brothers and I traveled up until, gosh, I guess till 1980. I don't even remember when.
Would you give us your parents' names, please?
My parents' name, Jose and Eliberta Cortez.
Okay.
They're both deceased now, though.
Yes, but they left a magic treasure when they left you here and all of your brothers, and you still have a sister.
Yes, I have a sister that works here at Bonham Elementary.
I want you to give us her name also.
Esmeralda Rodriguez. She's a social worker at Bonham.
Oh, that is great. And your brothers, or do you have any brothers here in the area?
No, they're all back south.
They're all back south, but when you went to school as a young lady, were you excited about elementary school, and was there a special mentor that helped you through the elementary grades?
I always loved school, and that's why I pursue education. I always liked to, but being a migrant worker, we had to be out before. We were the migrant school workers, so we had a special school that we went longer hours and longer times because we migrated. We migrated to Ohio, Michigan, Nebraska, and what for. So it was exciting. I had a lot of mentors in school throughout my life.
What was the magic that got you through school so that you could get an education to become a part of the Grand Prairie ISD? There must have been a magic formula.
I believe my father was that magic formula because he would always say, you need a higher education to get further because we won't have this manual labor. This is not going to continue forever. So he pushed that for us. And he pushed it especially for my brothers, which I rebelled against, because my brothers would be sent home to start school, whereas I wouldn't. Till the very last year when I was a senior, I said, I need to be sent home too to start my school. That was the only year that I did because I rebelled, because I wanted to be like my brothers and continue education.
And where did you go to get your education to qualify you for the job you have now?
I went to Pan American University, which is now the University of Texas at Pan American down south. And I graduated there, got married, came to Grand Prairie. So I've been here in Grand Prairie for 21 years. And then I went to Amber University. and that's in Garland, and that's where I got my master's.
All right, but now let's get back. You said all of this transition, getting that education at Pan Am, and now you're married. Give us your husband's name and tell us how you met that young man.
My husband's name is Tony Mendez, and I met him in Harlingen. That's close to San Benito, where I was born and raised. And we've been here for, like I said, 21 years, because we've been married 21 years. And we have a lovely, lovely, beautiful daughter named Amanda.
All right, where's Amanda?
She'll be starting Mountain View and UTA in Arlington this Monday, the 27th of August.
How exciting for you. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, it is. I'm very, very
does
excited.
she have her sights on doing something in the teaching profession, or is she going to get out of the box?
She wants to do clinical and child psychology. So it's still in the box.
Yes. Uh-huh. And you have a little bit of say-so and encouragement to give her. Are you her role model?
I believe I am, but I know this for certain. My sister has gotten numerous awards throughout her career in Grand Prairie, and she has always identified me as her role model. And that has been very touching to me, because I never knew I was her role model. But I'm 8 years older than her. Now everybody knows. They always wonder. And she has always said, my sister was my role model, because I've always worked. I've always worked 40 hours a week and went to school. So to get my bachelor's, going to Pan American back and forth, it took me 5 years, because I worked full time. And she said she always saw me and my determination, and that she, Intel, wanted to have a career like I did. And her work ethic, she said, were instilled in that at that time. And I didn't know I was doing that, but I'm pleased to know that I'm doing that to her, as I'm sure I'm doing that to millions of the students that I work with every day, because I touch a child's life every single day. And I know that and some of those have pursued bigger careers for themselves to better themselves, because I instill in them the need to continue with their education, as that is the answer to a fuller, richer, and enriched life.
Tell me about Amber University. What possessed you all of a sudden? Now you need a master's degree. You've already worked these 5 years really hard and got your bachelor's, and now you have your sights on a master's. How'd that happen?
That happened, unfortunately, I lost my mother in 1990, and that was very sad for me, very sad, because my mother was my best friend. And I said, if I was to die today, have I done everything I wanted to do? And my answer was no. I need to continue with my career. I need to further my education. So I continue to work, as I always have, and went to Amber University, because that's in Garland and it's for working adults. Took me 4 years to get my master's, because I went on at nights, and I had 12 hours every year until I graduated with a master's in counseling.
In counseling. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is wonderful. When did you start with the Grand Prairie ISD?
I started with Grand Prairie ISD in 1997. Okay. I came, and I have loved it since then. Grand Prairie is a wonderful place to work. Great people at Grand Prairie ISD. I just love my job there.
And your job daily will make, you've given me all the titles that you do. What is a usual day for the Grand Prairie ISD for Miss Rosie?
You never know what's awaiting you. Like, I can have an emergency, a parent calling what to do with their son or daughter to motivate them to go to school, or they're having problems with drugs and alcohol, or they need advice on decision making or on choices. I also facilitate a parent group. I do that for the school, and I also do that for Bridal Tomorrow's Women's Battered Shelter, and I do that as well, because I believe that it starts with the family, and the family needs to be impacted to change a child's life. And I go to the schools, I visit with students there, I visit with counselors, I'm a mentor to the counselors, I consult with principals and students and how to motivate them to excel in school and to stay in school, as well as to help them and do referrals to whatever problem comes their day.
Now, you're busy as a parent, you're busy as a school administrator, and yet you work in the community. You're the vice president of LULAC, and I know there are other organizations that you're a member of, and do you do church and any of this other stuff? We want to know all about Rosie.
Yes, I'm also the president of the Grand Prairie Human Coalition that meets once a month every Thursday at noon at the community center. And there we have, it's wonderful because we have lots of representatives from different organizations, and we all meet together as to how to impact and make a difference in the community and how to work together in the community. So that's very, very important to me. I also belong to the Lions Club. I'm the tail twister there, and I also do the gavel
Is that
travel.
evening or the host Lions?
Oh, excuse me, the Grand Prairie Evening Lions.
Okay, all right. Okay.
And I thoroughly enjoyed everything that I do.
Okay, and as the Lions Club member, are there many women in that Lions Club?
We're starting to be a lot of women there. Yes, we definitely are.
Okay, so you have reached a new niche now. That's great. And I found you at the Grand Prairie Hispanic Chamber of Commerce last evening, and as a matter of fact, I did find this wonderful picture in the paper of you and Mr. Sosa and Susana Ramirez and another wonderful Victoria Porras. And you're just around town doing everything, Rosie. Are you involved with the Hispanic Chamber, or were you just aiding and abetting them that evening?
Aiding and abetting them that evening, representing the Grand Prairie ISD.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Yes.
All right, we have a couple of more minutes left on this interview, and I'd like for you to look out, and for any Hispanic student that is in Grand Prairie that wants to reach a goal when they start out with almost like zero other than parents that cared and have come a long way as you have, Rosie, do that for me.
I want to tell these students to apply themselves, think about goals that they have, think about what they can do, and it'll take small steps, but you'll get there. And if you need help, ask. Ask questions. No question is dumb. Just ask questions. Get people involved. Get me involved. You can always call me at 972-237-4025. And I put out a lot of literature, a lot of parenting pamphlets, a lot of drug pamphlets, a lot of like yourself, because I also believe in building your self-esteem. I believe it comes from within a person, so you have to start with loving yourself in order to love someone else, and in order to want to be better and bigger. So talk to anyone that will listen to you, talk to teachers, counselors, and again, I'm always available to help you to reach that goal, but you have to want it, and you will get it.
Now, in the half minute that we have left, what do you want to be when you grow up?
What do I want to be when I grow up?
Your next career step.
I want to have my own agency, have my own private practice where I can help all students that need help regardless of their income. That's what I want to do.
What you would like to do. One of these days when you get rich and stay in working long enough and save your money, wouldn't that be wonderful to be in business for yourself? As you know, minority women have an edge in the Small Business Administration loans and etc. So you have your work cut out for you, Miss Rosie.
I sure do, but I'm willing to do it.
Yes. Well, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for all of the things that you do for boys and girls that are unsung. There are so many things that you can't tell because they're private things. And I want to thank you on behalf of the community for putting the best foot forward, getting out of the box a little bit, and being our first interview for Hispanic Heritage Month 2001 on the Ruthie Jackson Show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For being here. And we'll be right back with the next interview to round out this 30-minute session. As we continue with our Hispanic Heritage Month, we're very excited today to bring you the second half of our first segment, and we're very pleased to have David Gutierrez and his wonderful, wonderful daughter, Celeste. And I want to welcome both
Thank
of you
you,
all
ma'am.
to the set today.
Thank you.
Yes. And isn't it nice that we have Celeste with us so we can divide up our time a little bit more evenly, David?
That's exactly
okay.
right, Jackson.
David, before we start out our main part of our interview, of course, you have brought some valuable photographs with you, but
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
not going to get to show them all. But Mr. Louis Tovar, who is our magician in the control room and also at the camera and is in charge of production here at AT&T, has promised us he's going to come out and help us. As while Louis is coming out, I'm going to tell that you are both from Irving. And that's very unusual for me to do a Hispanic Heritage Month with someone from Irving when I have all of these folks in Grand Prairie, Texas. However, you have a very unique relationship in that you have been the past president of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And that's going to give you an edge, David.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're just so glad to have you here today and to begin this interview. And Louis, if you're ready to come out, and we're going to be getting ready our very first picture of David. And David, this is of you and your sister. Would you hold it up so Louis can clue in on it and tell us just a little bit about the picture, about when it was taken, and your sister's name that you have lost to death? Would you do that for us?
Yes, this picture is approximately when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and my sister's name is Iselda. And unfortunately, there was an accident, a vehicle accident back in 1973 where I lost her and my parents in the accident, and
Yes.
there were 5 survivors. But this is one of my memoirs from my childhood that
You really cherish that, don't
yes,
you?
ma'am. I was raised in South Texas, up in the Rio Grande Valley area in Far Texas, and that's and she was born at the house, inside the house. Of course, I was born in Michigan, in Saginaw, but when she was born in the house. My mother had a midwife come in and help her deliver my little sister.
That's wonderful. All right, and the next picture we're going to show this, and then we're going to come back and discuss all of these a little bit later. Where was this picture made?
This
Dave?
was taken in Fowler, Arizona. I was raised by my grandparents, and they were migrant workers.
Name your grandparents.
My grandmother's name was Adela Dominguez, and my grandfather was Alfredo. And
Weren't they sweet to raise you?
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. And so when they were picking cotton up in Arizona, near Phoenix, I went to school there at the 2nd grade, and that's
What's the name of the school?
Fowler
Elementary.
Fowler Elementary School.
Okay, let's get to one of our next pictures that we have. We're going way on down the line after you got out of school. And what is this picture from?
Yes, ma'am. This is my Marine Corps picture that was taken in 1971. I graduated in 1971 from Carter High School in Dallas.
All right.
And immediately after graduation, I joined the Marine Corps.
Yes.
And so this is basically your basic initial picture from boot camp.
And your basic training was taken
It
where?
was taken in San Diego, California.
Oh my, a long way, but on the way to Arizona and then past, wasn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is this next
This one,
treasure?
ma'am, after I was discharged from the Marine Corps, I still wanted to be part of our history, of our nation, and I joined the Texas Army joined the Texas Army National Guard.
Okay.
And this is a picture of me as an instructor at the academy in Austin, at Camp Mabry. And of course, I'm taking the picture with the rest of the instructors here on the bottom, but we have the rest of the students that are there. Basically, the instructions were leadership classes that I administered. I taught the rest of the NCOs, or the sergeants at hand.
That's great. Now, that's all the time we have for pictures. You have multitudes that if we had 2 days to go through with all of those, we could really get a lifetime story of you. But we want to get to Celeste just a moment because she has something real special. Celeste, will you show us your picture and tell us about this wonderful picture, and who is this?
Well, this is me and my mother, Cynthia Curry Gutierrez. I guess, how old was I? About
It's about 3, 4 months.
3 months.
3 or 4 months old.
Yeah.
Isn't that a treasure for you? Okay, we want to thank you for showing that. We're going to get back and do an interview with you in just a moment because you're a very important young lady from Irving High School that's into the media and all of the good things that we're giving you a new experience here today. Be on this side of the camera, and isn't that fun?
Yes.
All right, David, let's get back to you then. And thank you, Louis Tovar, for helping us with those photographs. And let's start out with the basics. I'd like the name of your parents, your mother and dad.
My mother's name is Petra, and my father's name is Marcelino Gutierrez.
Okay.
We came to especially, this is very important because Grand Prairie to me is my initial step when I first came to Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh, you did? Why did you pick Grand Prairie?
Well, my dad was supposed to meet some people here at the old JC building here in Grand Prairie.
Oh, yes, on Northwest 15th and Main Street.
When we came from South Texas in 1967, it was in December of 1967, and we landed right here in Grand Prairie.
Okay.
That was our initial place, and we had to wait because my father, and there's another one, he acquired a job there at LTV back then.
All right.
So we came. We were one of the first 5 initial families that came from South Texas to work at LTV back in '67.
Okay.
So Grand Prairie has always been with me, and then on all of that. But I will say that also at 16, I had a girlfriend that lived here in Grand Prairie at the time.
Okay,
So-
but you've dismissed her from the scene, right?
That's right. So
Right.
Grand Prairie has always been a part of me. So it's never gone. And of course, since 95, 96, I joined the Grand Prairie Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and since then I've been involved with them. I've been board member, and now, of course, I am the chair for the Grand Prairie Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. But and also I have been wanting to speak to Mr. Council Fremont because I've also been instrumental in Irving in establishing a school for an exchange of students and teachers that I did also for Irving, but I see that I have the capabilities also to help the city of Grand Prairie establish a sister cities, which I know that Grand Prairie has been looking forward to something like that, and
Yes.
I believe with my resources and the capacities that I have, I could help the city of Grand Prairie accomplish those goals.
Now tell me what you do for a living.
I'm in the woodworking business now. I have a wood shop, and I do anything from cabinetry to wood repairs to furniture repairs. But basically, through education and profession, I'm a chemist. I used to be a flavor chemist for Dr. Pepper. I did some work for Johnson & Johnson, and did a lot of research in the cancer and coagulation and protein studies at which was then the Wadley Institute of Molecular Medicine.
You have been busy getting educated and working for a living, and then when you married this beautiful lady, and then you have how many children?
Just one, ma'am.
Just one?
Just one.
Oh, well, she's the prize,
Yes,
isn't
yes,
she?
ma'am. Unfortunately, we lost. We had a little baby boy, but
Yes.
he was only with us for 2 months and a half.
Yes.
And,
That is a sad happening,
crib
isn't
death, what they call crib death. So, but it has been an uphill battle, and it's been real rewarding, and I can only give a lot of blessings to God, which I do every day. I do my prayers every day. I do my rosary every day.
Yes.
And so I just want to say that.
And you attend church where?
I've been attending church at the St. Michael's here in Grand
That's
Prairie.
the big church. Yeah. Yes, we call that the big church.
Yes, ma'am. I've been attending church there.
I've been an honorary member of the school board at the Immaculate Conception
Yes.
Church School, and we always look at that as the uptown church in the Catholic diocese in Grand Prairie. That's wonderful. I'm going to let you rest a minute. I've got to talk to Celeste just
by
a
all means.
second. Oh, yes. Celeste, tell us a little bit about yourself, about school and what your class is and your interests.
Well, my name's Celeste Gutierrez, and I do attend Irving High School. I've taken all my classes this year. I'm getting everything out of the way. It's gonna be a hard year, but it's gonna be a fun year. I'm really excited. They built that new academy. It's called the Academy of the ISD, right off of MacArthur.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful school. And I'm taking media technology there, and that should bring a lot of put my foot in the door with my interest of fashion, designing, entertaining, all those things is what I love to do. And so hopefully.
And you plan to graduate when?
I'm graduating this year, 02. I'm a senior.
2002.
Exactly.
Oh, that is.
It'd be the first time that it would ever happen like that, like 2002. You never have that in the next.
Yes.
It's a long time.
And when we get to 2222, none of us will be here, but that is a good number to look forward to. And after you graduate from school, what are you going to do?
Well, I plan on possibly attending a 2-year college, get basics out of the way, save a lot of money that way too.
And Louis Tovar, that's overproduction here, went to North Lake, and he says they have the best media technology of any of the community colleges, and he really does brag on that place, so you're going to have to look that one over.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I really thank you for being here with your dad, because you were an extra bonus to us on his wonderful interview here today, but I've got to ask him a little bit more questions about the Hispanic Chamber and what his vision is for things in Grand Prairie. How about it, David?
Well, number one is we're looking forward to meeting with some people from the Methodist Hospital. They want to establish a program. It's going to be free, prostate cancer screening free, that they want to establish here. They want to do some business here. We also have, I think there's going to be a clinic here.
The Immaculate Conception has a care center, yes.
And so we're facing we want to go ahead and tie in with that. We have a health fair that we're probably going to be putting together with one of our board members and one of the other board members that works for the Grand Prairie ISD.
Mr. Frigo is the chairman or the president of the Immaculate Conception Care Center that's going to be opened real soon. As a matter of fact, it's open now partially.
Right.
So you need to work with that with your chamber.
That's exactly right. And then of course we have our golf tournament that's coming up. We would like to also, we're envisioning also to have establish an event of a black and white tie here in the near future, hopefully by December or November. So there's a lot of exciting things that
the golf tourney is when?
The golf tournament is September the 20th that we established there at Grand Prairie Lakes.
GP Lakes, okay. It looks like y'all are doing great things for the chamber. I really enjoyed your annual banquet, and your speaker was outstanding. Y'all are doing just a real good work.
Well, we were honored to have all of you, and of course, Ms. Jackson, you've done an excellent job, and we hold you with great esteem, and we just was very happy to see you there.
Well,
so,
thank you very much.
Make the whole night.
All right, if you'd look out in the 1 minute we have left into this camera, and I would like for you to talk to the young people. In 1 minute, tell them your philosophy of life and what they need to do to succeed as you have done.
I can only tell you that do not quit. You have goals, you have dreams, you have to follow those dreams and goals. Everybody has hardships through life, but you have to believe in yourself and that it can be done. But you can also do this by carrying God with you. You have to have that faith, and of course He's the first one that comes even when you wake up in the mornings and when you go to sleep, and even when you drink some water or eat some food. God is the first presence you want. And I can only tell you that with that in mind, you will succeed. You will succeed. You can succeed. Don't give up. Stay in school. The world's right there at your hands, and it's for the taking. But don't give up.
Don't do drugs.
Exactly. Don't do the drugs. Stay.
All right. Stay in the saddle.
That's right.
Celeste, in a half a second, I want you to thank your dad for being here and for what he does for you.
Well, thank you, my father.
Oh, that is so sweet. Isn't that wonderful? That is a wonderful way to end this interview. I know he has given you lots of encouragement, and probably one of your mentors. We hope so anyhow. David, I want to thank you for being here today. Celeste, it was a delight to have both of you.
You too.
And this
Thank
is
you.
Ruthie Jackson reminding you that history is as we live and do.